Good morning, or whatever it is wherever you are. So last time we had converted this to Elm charts, which takes care of some of the ranging conversions for us. Gee, I think I had done this just drawing some stuff. There's also a custom version which would allow us to maybe do some hover. Well, I could do time conversions to hover, but if we could highlight the elements, that'd be nice. And at some point, I need to figure out how I handle clicking on there versus clicking on, like, just a point. I guess you could always drag to a point. The other problem with the Elm chart mouse overs might be that it would interfere with our own mouse events. I wonder if, I mean, not that this API. That was package website. Yeah, okay. And then there's the examples, which I don't know which version they're on. Okay, so that's the local examples. And we don't even have the example site here. Maybe it's on here? Yes. No chart.svg. Line, I might actually be using rectangle. Label, tick. Whatever that means. And it's interpolation line. Working with the coordinate system. Oh, you know what? There are things that give the p parameter. It's probably plain. Anyway, to use any kind of data reference thing, we actually have to convert to a custom. Is that navigation or hierarchy? So you had a function to do that. So we've been producing chart.rects in a what? In planes. This is a list with chart.customs. So we had data. What were you? Oh, this is the selection box. The selection box, I don't know if I want that to be an interactive element. So that could be a plane. So you're an indexed map, so it would be going to this thing. Oh, you have a render function. So this is the name of the... Well, of the data point. We already converted arcs. Oh, because this works. We set this up to work with anything by being just a range. Even though some of these things would actually have names, and I might actually want to be using those names. We're going to punt on this for now. Okay, so this does require an x1, x2, y1, and y2. Whereas the rectangle, we could punt on that. Was it 10 by default? How to display the data. Oh, so this, well, you see, this could be an arc, a span, or something else. So we actually have to pass that in. Okay, so there's the data. And that's just a straight up string conversion on it. So data should probably really be, well, the arc or whatever, but this is, oh no, data has to be, I don't even know what custom is. Data is data. It's an element of data. So maybe it doesn't have to be X and Y. But maybe it has to match other things? Well, let's see. So we broke it out here. You just have to be a function of data to a string. So this must be the plane? This is a CS.rect. Chart SVG? So actually render is just, maybe this is not a regular rect. Because it's in this render function. All right, and then if you become a list, no, color equals. Okay, render chart SVG plane to chart.element data message. The argument type custom needs the first argument to be SVG, svg.never. So this is where we need to be chart.svg. And your cs.rector is that was chart.rect, so I can't just overlap those. Now this seems like the thing we'd very rarely use. Oh, yep, and there's the plane. Now we didn't specify coordinates on that. Okay, that doesn't make any difference because we haven't done anything that interacts with it data-wise. And this is c.each. I think it's actually going to be each custom for the. Oh no, this is each, and it doesn't. Even though this was custom. Model.hovering is a list of chart item. On hover. So yeah, chart event, mouse move, mouse leave. Oh, so you're always watching on a mouse move. Okay, so the awkward thing here is we have two things that want to hook into that event, and I think I've had trouble with that before. What do you say about your mouse event signatures? It's an A to message and a decoder. Do you have your own decoder type? Because that's two variables. You have your own decoder type. Get nearest, get within, get x, map. Those are what items or groups you will be searching for. And this gives us a chart attribute type. I don't know if this can be compatible with other move detectors. Can I use these outside of the mouse events? Well, I guess this is only moves on the element and there's moves globally. Maybe those would get fired separately. That's within a certain radius. Get nearest X. Cartesian coordinates of the event. Honest decoder. Yeah, you don't have an enter. So you just have to be watching move all the time. I guess I could maybe still do a standard non-enter. Can I do a tooltip myself? Because I can do my own hit detection. List, attribute tooltip, attribute never, HTML never. Each model dot hovering. Yeah, you do have a different signature. Add elements for each item of whatever list in the first argument. So hovering is a list of chart item. A single item. One data bar dot that position item the color. Okay, so this only handles dots and bars. This is the type of thing we put in data, so it would just be a time range with what we've done here. And it's neither a dot or a bar, so that might get interesting. But, well, just use any, I guess. Okay, so this is a container for data of any type, and all it is the data. But if the data is just the range, well, this is the thing I have to pass to tooltip. Each hovering so tooltip is going to be one of those. It's an item, and one is an item. Type alias 1 is a Item is a rendered X. Okay, so internally somewhere. Oh, and many. Although, what's data if it's many? Groups of items. I mean, I guess it's just implicitly a list. Get members. Oh, this is the type of data, and then it can be a list. Okay, so we can do our own hit detection because it's just going to be simple ranges. And then we're not actually getting anything from using custom. Huh. Maybe data has to have X and Y for... Well, this is saying product. What's a, Oh, plain product. So this is a standard, so this would be of year in income, and this thing has the accessors, so the built-in series have all the ways to turn that into X and Y, which give you the position that this would go at. Okay, so chart attributes, tooltip attributes, regular HTML attributes. Oh, that was a one of that data type. There might actually be more information in there. Can we, is there a way to make those? I'm not sure if it's fully exposed or not, because it just says it's just storing stuff. Get the data the item was produced from. Filter and group chart items. I don't know if there's a way to actually make a one ourselves to pass in there. That's from a many. That's from a many. Yeah, we can't actually make one. Unless it is actually exposed. I don't know what's X. Oh, it's the and this is going to be, is this in chart still? No, this is chart.item, which we haven't done yet. Sheet array. So I already had a let block here, huh? Does not expose any. Maybe it has to be this any? No, that's a function. Type alias any equals any. What were you using? ci.any. Is this on the alpha version or something? Because you say we can do this. But I guess you could be on alpha. Oh, that's a type, not a value. How do we get... Well, if this is exposed, which this makes it look like it's exposed. So the docs show this. Now, there's all the local stuff. And we actually have to track down something else to find the source. Okay, so it's not you. This is going to be a T. Yeah, so these are types without members. So you could specify the type of that, but this comes back to the problem of we can't make an instance. M. Internal.many. So the only way to get an item is to use their event method. And I'm probably going to need to upgrade this data at some point too. Because you can work from X and Y, and that translates directly to a value. Okay, so this is producing, well, this is the chart. to hook up an event, we have to have a hover thing specifically for this. And since this is chart types, now our main app also has to know about chart stuff. I mean, I guess the view could expose functions and deal with it. I could just maybe treat it as an opaque. Can you treat it as an opaque thing? What? No, because you have to handle these types. That feels like not enough parentheses. I might only need chart item for this. Okay, down, enter, move. And we have to have some place to put it. Which means you need it too. Actually, this might not need that. Once we start opening into it. Okay, so we've got to notice the center. So probably like around dragging, maybe? Okay, chart hovering. And let's see, so the event is on the chart. Oh, you're going to be a different class, aren't you? A chart event. Event or events? Events. Nope. We left that open before. Oh, I guess, it's... Mouse move takes 2 arguments. And the other one is just an event. And get of type any. Now, that's the examples. Might not be the right module for it because that's an event. Get nearest. I mean, it really shouldn't matter, but that's potentially less less comparisons. One mouse leave. Ah, you didn't send messages before. And then to be able to... Oh, you don't have a full model right now. Let's do a quick little check-in. We can get in here. Oh, wrong thing. Okay. And yes, there is a whole lot of data in there. There's your tooltip info. Do we really need to have that debugging? All right, do you have a full map or model? You have a full model. Or do you? You have a reduced model. Oh, God. That's just an alias. It's not a big deal. And then we have to pass it. Model. Ah, I was looking at time. You're also a narrowed record, aren't you? No, we have to go up here. We have to get that. We have to get it down to here. Eh. And then we can finally do the tooltip. See if it actually even looks good. Alright, so this is... in the chart attributes. This might be layering. Plane, maybe? To a list of things. And then all of the different attributes. Okay, and yes, we'd want to position that and get our actual data in. Not sure what the offset's for. Is this because I'm only testing X? Oh. It's the item. So these are equal. But we still have draw order. In fact, we've got a big draw order issue here. So this would probably be on top if we were at the bottom. Can we specify on top? Although that might not be good with our draw order. A little bit weird. I guess I could have a compound hovering that included the bar that it was on. Huh. Just that at that position, even though we're not displaying the same scale of things here, I think. However, I need to pass. Oh, we have a. Well, I think one of the things I want to do with these is have them disappear when you get close to them. That might be reasonable. So we'd have to pass full things down here, which means we'd have to. Well, that would make them not equal. That could mean completely duplicating this. Because I really did do this as arcs, and it's like, oh yeah, they're just time ranges. We can do whatever. If we do arcs and spans and, well, yeah, for data, this is all we have right now. It's arcs and spans. Oh, and timeline, you actually should be arcs. We just copied it. So technically, it's worlds, arcs, and spans. We're not. Actually, I don't think we're using arcs at the moment. We just kind of said, we'll leave that in there. But now we essentially we have to duplicate that function unless we can get a narrowed a thing that's the data model for timelineable things. And then, would it not even be separate here? We just pre-convert it at this point? So the point we care about that is really only here. Maybe I was thinking I was going to use different display functions, which I wondering if now I can avoid. Because it's only going to vary at present. And it's not going to have data. Well, I guess the data would be like span, which would be useful. And then this would be whatever name we had for it. So we would go and turn all of these things into something slightly larger. So we were doing. Well, no, that's actually in these functions. It's Oh, so you're actually anything with a start and a definite start and an end. I could probably actually do something similar with these, where it's a maybe. But it's going to vary more. All right, so timeline worlds. Do you have? You have the entire model, so you have a default time, which I think is probably just max. Yeah, line.maxTime. Which, if we're producing the max time for the line, would kind of have that. You're a wraparound. So that's timeline data. What are these things then? Well, this might be going away, but the name isn't free yet. Can't use that. So worlds at least will have names. Spans, we just kind of have to make something up from the date. Although I guess most of these things have a start and end of some sort, so we have to resolve it. Although we end up passing a range. And I guess we can... Now I say we can wedge this in. And I could have two parallel functions. For a little bit. And the place we have to deal with that is here. Let's dot map. It's just arranges. Okay. So I guess we can go ahead and produce those, and we'll still see it do this. So we would like base case is a case. So we do have to get worlds in range, and we were just packing that into there. This has to be... It could potentially be a subfunction. Since we've got, I mean, toRange probably has more uses than this. Other things to ranges. Here we're using that. Your all range stuff. In range. Okay, you get a default UR to a timeline item. And we're going to need more things out of you. Do you just have a name? Is that what I called it? You know, the other bit isn't going to be right yet. I'm not seeing any complaints from this part, though. List.world expects list POSIX. You have to do, which was max time? Okay, this, we can just see that there's still stuff here. List of, I might not have exposed this. I had to do this, I think it was above. Timeline data kind. And all this stuff won't match. So we had done that as arcs. Why do I need index? For the flip-flop. Okay, I'll get to you in a minute. Actually, this is a do that, and if we make data, if we make data an item, we only need these once, right? That's actually a little bit inconvenient, actually. We can do start and this is going to change the data type of my hover, though. which means the other function isn't actually compatible. Do we make it compatible? Main thing, that thing's gonna be span. Alright, model, hovering. You are going to be of a timeline item. Chart needs the second argument to be. Why does it need that? I'm probably still doing some stuff with that. How about the tooltip itself? Should be whatever. The other one was just constant stuff, so it shouldn't care. Timeline arcs. I mean, you're dummy, you're dummy. Data. That's what it's mismatching. That's that data. Items, your items, so you should be that full thing. Where are you getting that type from? Maybe does this thing have to be the same? You're not specifying any data though. This is just a chart.rect. List chart.element POSIX. Okay, so first item, second item. So one of these things is different. Oh, and which one of this is? This is for 15. So yeah, it's this one. Cat doesn't like that one. Oh no, this is the other one, which we did have to change. Okay. So where did it actually switch over? Chart.list.data. What's the type of this? I mean, we're only producing one type of thing, right? Chart needs the second argument to be chart element POSIX. Why does it do that? Oh, okay, so this is, wait. Okay, so this is arcs, so we're getting arcs in there. Start, end. You should convert to whatever you get out of here. How do I find out? Wait, so why does chart have a type at all? What about this is giving it a type? Is it that we're doing these and we're doing this, but this shouldn't be typed? The chart stuff is all inside of that function, so I don't think there's any other charts. No, because these are all converted to HTML before they leave this function. Is it maybe something in our hovering handling? We still got events, don't we? No, it's still getting the idea it needs a POSIX somewhere. Oh, this is the other one. That doesn't help. Okay, so that's back to you. Okay, so it is these somehow. Oh, because I typed you? I didn't use the hovering type here. I guess I didn't get too annoyed when I did the first one of those. Is that not what it's called? No, it's just chart hovering. So we're still name format here. Oh, because I'm not actually producing this. But I thought I was. Timeline items. Did I not change out the implementation? Timeline items, display at timeline arcs. Oh, right, because this was the interim. We actually have this function now. The thing I put in there for distinguishing is not maybe as useful as a label as I would have liked. It's probably seed. All right, and then the names. We could actually determine this once up front. Oh, except it's technically individual items. So this is where the individual containers sort of make sense again. I think I would have inverted the colors of these. Oh, is the first one in data color? Kind of hard to tell. No arrow, border, background. Hmm. I'm not sure I like how big that is, though. All right, so this feels too much work on a per item basis. I mean, there is no reason we would have no reason to mix those. So really, we're just putting the name on there. And we still have to manufacture names for spans and things. I could use your hover detection, and I haven't checked if you mess up. Okay, so that still works. That still works. Right, so all charts get that point as a place to put something. I'd probably want to just have like one up here or something. Or I could include the chart index and only include it if it's the right one. Or the timeline index. Of course, if I went back to my own hit detection, then I could just look these things up again and produce all of this as needed. There must have been a very small interruption between those. Once again there. So I guess it is nice for finding a particular place to put that. All right, so your custom interactivity. Yes. Amongst. Now, can that apply to SVG? Not sure what you get there. Oh, no, your strings. Chart.property timeline enter color string. So you don't apply to custom rendered stuff. Oh, maybe? Can apply to that? Chart.element. X blah. So this would be actually on here? Not here. So I guess it has to be... one of these super basic things. So I guess it'd be up to me to say, well, if item is there, all right, so what's amongst? It's those things. It's a function and we chain through events like characters. Such group of products. Property. This is probably more of an item function to say, is this item in the set? For a certain data type. Just to maybe, you're a list of those to a list of those. List of A's. It's a singular list. I guess it's technically a list of ones. But it just gives us a filter, so it doesn't really tell us. So I would have to go through every single item, get the data, and compare it to my current thing to see if it's current. Well, I guess I could just pre-convert it to items. There's still kind of a set test there, or a member test. I don't care about that. Those are ones. We have no way to produce ones, so there is no way to test if it's in a set. Well, I guess we could say, is the list empty or not? Okay, your only points so far, nothing does arbitrary positions. Oh, that does get hovered coordinates, kinda. Mouse move. Just get chords. And chords is a straight up point. Yeah, you're just too big. So can I guess these are all tooltips. But this showed us how to deal with customs a little bit. Chart.each. It's just a list, but it produces chart elements. Oh, no, I can get the data. I can only get the data. I can't get like all the other stuff from it. Well, I get the x value, which is probably going to be the center. x1, x2. Interestingly, not y1, y2. Since we've basically got a rectangle here. So all that, we didn't need you. Oh, the tooltip is something else. I can really only take one of these. Did I have this? Yeah, I had this in the other chart, which we've certainly only produced this for one thing so far. So we've got a, I don't want to keep any of this. Don't know what I do. And if I want to do something interactive, I'll need some kind of hovering event. Okay. So knowing what we're pointing at would be nice. That means we'll have to add... Let's see. So when we're dragging, we potentially have move on everything. This would only need move on the individual elements. Maybe I should fix these things first. Where do we do... our start and end? These are probably behind or in front. Yeah, date with seconds. If I wanted to figure that out myself, I'd have to know how big it is and say, oh, we're in range. Or I have to add, let's see, it's an element, so that means it could have an event. Okay, it's not blocking events. Maybe it was blocking chart events. That's a palette highlight. We've got an align left versus align right. I'm tactically going to need, to make this look nice, I'm going to have to do separate events. You can parameterize it by the line, you can parameterize it by the side, which could be another parameter to the function that handled the setup for that. And I guess one thing to start off with just be to, well, to say that this thing is within range of it, I still have to know how big it is. Which, I mean, we could kind of guess that. We set our font size here? It's just default. $185. It's probably a 20 font. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. With white tie 20 be like 400. But I guess that if that's height, then we would expect that to be full width. That sort of makes sense. Have we done any calculations here? The line should have the width. These have been converted to integers. We'd have to get our range. So our lower range is going to be well, that's kind of pre-calculated, but okay, that's a fixed amount in from the end. So actually the 0 side. Well, no, what I need to know is where time is. And we haven't even converted that. Oh no, value. That's our factor. And I guess the whole thing has to be converted back to int at the end. Or would it? For comparison, not really. Now, your HTML attributes. I did one little toy app with it a long time ago. So not really. I mean, Elm has a similar like data flow model, but specifics not so much. Bye. And now, if t does that to be less than line dot width minus oh, there's no op for an attribute. So I guess we have to do behind content nothing. And then the L actually has to be the Ah, yes, those are all going to be integers. Well, that failed. Also, this is completely... all kinds of failed. Um... Okay. Uh... Okay, so we're doing our animation very, very slowly. Those numbers are completely wrong. This has to be... value minus min. That seems more reasonable. Oh. No, it wasn't that. That I could believe was dragging over another element. Oh. Only if I go fast enough. Or maybe it's just the re-render by adding and removing it? Because I don't think that was an issue before. Well... oh, like I said, that might not be helping. Yeah, so that might have to do more to do with the DOM change than with the... actual element being in the way. So we might have to just draw it and make it invisible. Either way, these are getting big. All right, and we want to say... well, actually it's going to be less than. Might be alpha. All right, I only did one of these. Okay, so these aren't having disruption problems. Greater than line dot width. Okay, just changing visibility doesn't mess us up. Maybe I do only care about pointer, though. Well, that's the range of the bar. If you need to, you could do that and go back. That's not the range of all the bars, though. Alright, so a hover solution would be recording well, if it was a hover in that element, it would probably be chords in that element. That would just kind of give us this thing, and we'd have to do it on a per bar basis. Do you have your index? ID. So we have to add an event. So this gives us multiple move events. Now, we call these screen locations. I think this is actually it might actually be a timeline location. Well, it's gonna be the attached element. So we have to handle that event. We don't have to do anything. Let's see, so index, well, we do have to deal with that. We're translating that to time. But since this ends up being an X anyway, we don't actually need to convert that. And maybe I should deal with the leave event. I might already have a leave. It's probably a leave screen, though. Huh. So I want an index and I need a position. We could make the released state do hover information, but if we're dragging, we also want to kind of want to track this separate from dragging. And then we have then we have what we do if we aren't over anything, which I guess we kind of put up here before. There's going to be a lot of references that aren't there. Like I said, drag. Model hover equals hovering index x. I probably need to change my data types. Yeah, it's a POSIX. I'm also going to want to use that for time feedback. But we're going to convert it into a time that can convert it back into a x. Maybe. So I could get away with leave by doing an invalid index, maybe. But really, we just kind of have to handle the case because it's a list of that not being there. We didn't expose you. Hover, hover. Hover, hover. Hovering. Two, two, three. Model. We lost, because that was a function that did the command. And it couldn't give me a useful thing here, so that we could see that it was model versus command message. All right, so that gives us data that we can use. No, we haven't hooked up an event yet. All right, so you're on the thumb. We have any other events here? Yeah, we've got mouse down. I probably don't want to capture this. So I think you're just mouse decoder. Got 3 instead. Ah, so you are, there's one of our parentheses. But we don't do anything with that, so we have to do you're a limited model. Time control. And then this thing is also a limited model. All right, so we did this here. We now have to do... So you're more of a T, and then you're more of an X. Oh, but this entire thing is predicated on are we hovering or not, which we can't actually turn that off, I think. So we can't even do this unless, we can't even do this calculation unless we're hovering. And then those tests are not just tests of the coordinate, they're also tests of blah. Maybe we have to do something more like... Now we've already got the index here. Oh, we have to know if it's this one, though. And you're going to be hovering over a time position, which is going to be a particular time. And I'm probably gonna have to have an internal let block here to deal with all this stuff. I see we can return immediately if the index didn't equal, but if index equals line.id, else left and right are going to be both visible. And in the case we are away, left and right are going to be both visible. And then you encapsulate. So left is visible if x is greater than that, and y is greater is width minus 190? So then this still has to be conditional, but now it's just if left. I could actually produce your attribute here. Okay. Are you confused by ear? Yeah. Indent off. In next. Hoving. Okay, it's backwards. Oh, I was testing these the other way before. That one's just hard to see. So that one's backwards. So I guess actually I should have done this. For timeline style. So if you're doing things over here, you can actually see what's going on. Also, we could use that to display the viewed time, and if you want to, we could also be doing, like, what's this thing? But that wasn't enough of a trial itself. Oh, we don't have the leave event. Yeah, so we've already got a timeline leave. But that's left the screen. But it's the version of that that's relevant. Well, maybe I need to, because these are top level events. Maybe these do get renamed. All right, so up is a screen event. Leave is a window event. Enter is a window event. And that is... Well, actually, move is. Wait. I have 5 of those. Up, leave, enter. We have leave twice. Right, no range. And then we have to deal with the thing that responds to them. So if it doesn't have an index, it's actually a window event. And then I had hover, which was sort of a timeline move. I was trying to distinguish from that one. And then we need to have leave to get that to clean up properly. So our old one has screen location. I don't think screen location's actually gonna matter here. Although we'd have to do a decoder of none to make it work. Do we care? Because we have a global hovering, so not really. Or rather, the which is embedded in there. Where are you confused? Missing arrow. No. Can you give me a line pointer, please? Oh, because we don't have the pair there anymore. Okay, so now we can go out and it'll pop back. The order of events doesn't seem to be messing us up that like we end up with like an away event over top of this or anything. And what this accomplished was a first pass at getting rid of these things. They're not in the way as much. And we also have a hover position we could use for some interactive data display. That is going to go into the label portion, which might be a bit remote from what we've been doing. So time control is going to be these individual things. So it's up from here. I think it's timeline here. Yeah, because there's your button. Oh, is this entire thing the button? Oh, this entire thing is the button. It was zone and a time, so we'd want to switch. I guess we'd switch the time on that. We do have a let block here. That's modeled. That's getting the time from there. So it has to be inside the case. Where else do we use this? Okay, so there's actually two cases here. That's... Is it really just doing this, I think? And it's a Boolean? So this is model.zone not equal to time.utc. Yes, this is for local. That works. Oh, well, you would probably want that to follow to the extent it was there. Time. And you already have hover. So we have to have a map time. We want to use the time value from hover if it's there. I have to turn this into a function in that case. With this big data type. So this is going to be more of a two-step process. So first of all, if it's nothing, we don't care. You are nothing. If there is a time and we are hovering over some line, then it is just that time. And then we don't care about this. And it is just the map time. And then this may be time, which still handles the if it's set or not. Hovering. Oh, this is also used for the point display. So we actually need both in this case. So I guess I have to do another let. So we call this like label time. It's not. This is gonna be a double maybe. It's gonna be a single maybe. Right. We could almost use a little indicator on here. So that would be a time control thing. So time equals time. Ideally, that would only display if it was relevant. I mean, that would just end up putting a tick mark behind here, which wouldn't be terrible, I guess. Although, what we really want to display is hovering, so we've already got that. So we've got yeah, so this stuff is positioned with boxes. This actually probably needs to go down. And you have a line. You have arcs. Didn't... I have the selection. Case line dot time range. So it's got that built in. But you need more information. Palette line is specific. Okay, so case time range. So going to be. I guess I would want a visual order to these, which would say it would be a new plane. We have to. I guess we have to do a self check in here. What are you? Do you need to be +1? Probably not gonna matter. Now. No, this is we do want to do this off of all of them. Match nothing values. Oh, need to be away. Okay, so that is not working. Or maybe it's too small. Is that even enough? Okay, so it is indeed a, I need to be doing this in chart space. Okay, so actually it's small here and giant here. Yeah, so data space, unless... Let's make it 0 size. That kind of works. We didn't know we need to do border color. It is border color. Oh, just border. And I might not even need to specify width then. And then these should be pretty much locked. Oop. How do we lose drag? We have some way we can lose drag here. That's not good. Oh, okay, the problem with this is that's going to create a lot more situations where we need to redraw the backgrounds. And those are going to be kind of expensive. The events, you want to make that lazy. Alright, so we've been doing the fill portion trick so far. I don't think we need to do that precisely. Except now I need to do all the math myself. I mean, I guess I could do an overlay chart. So date. You are... You're the time control. What was I doing the thumb? Okay, that's the thumb. You are actually like the content. So to display this, so we've got our min and our max. We do have our range. We do have our value. In time space. We did... Oh, this is for... I guess now we need to do all this regardless. Actually, do I just get a value out of you? This doesn't... This... We just kind of have to punt on this. But it seems a shame to do it twice. It's going to be selected. This is font.color. I just need color. Not going to be aligned. Oh, this is a, this is conditional. Hover, don't care, and we already calculated it. And away. I have silver away. So you'd actually be like, background. Right, because that's what we used internally. Oh, I haven't figured out how to position you yet. Actually, did we determine you can't do that? I guess I could do another element to a certain size. We could go back to the the fill trick, but that kind of puts off the positioning a little bit. We could do padding each the side. Move. All right, so can we tell where this is being drawn currently? Can we tell if it's being drawn? And it seems, oh, we're not hovering. So this is on top of most other things. So something here should either be above or below that. So this is just not even drawing. Oh, you probably need height. Yes, okay. 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 Oh no, this is int float. Is an int. My other thing had to convert it back, didn't it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one is indexed checked. So we have to do this math regardless. I think that should be a little bit wider. No, if we go more than that, we're actually going to want to offset it a little bit. You can already tell it's off a little bit. Can I, since you're float, actually, would -1 work? Kinda. And I don't know if I'm having that problem anymore. And we could potentially start adding context to this. It probably wouldn't be worth trying to like pre-cache this because this is just going to be kind of a very rapidly changing thing. But you don't have full model data right now. Well, we have worlds and span. Timeline worlds, timelines. Right, this got undone. Oh, you got the data through here. And it's just ranges right now. So we would have to look that up ahead of time and put it in like hovering or something. So probably the world is the only interesting label. I mean, we can do the range of this span. But other than that, it's not too interesting. And this is just it's the marker and just the marker maybe. And changing the label. All right. We probably have stuff. Because like when we do that, for instance, we have to scrub to this, arc for time, span for time. Funnily enough, it's world for time that I want. Probably gonna look more like arc for time. In range, arc to range. Okay, that's the remote data, so it's kind of maybe-ish. Um, a world maybe. Yeah, you're just a list world if we get them. Because it might be an empty list. Hovering. So it's on a line. This is getting more complicated. You had to be a maybe, right? Yeah, because it could be an empty list. Which means the hovering is going to have to be a maybe world as well. I mean, or we somewhere in the view we calculate this. But I guess there could be other reasons the screen could change then. Whereas every time this updates, it's going to have to change. Do we need the whole world? I think all I'm ever going to do is display the title of it. Okay. Label time. You are indeed a maybe string. Okay, so you're a maybe. Oh, you're actually current arc? Well, model.current arc is the thing we already set up. We don't currently do anything with current world. Oh. No, because it's... Huh. I guess Year of Arc fails it out in the right way. Oh, I don't put that down. Yeah, so you see, I could do that. For all times if I calculated it here. That's probably most relevant at this scale. Oh yeah, those are important code versions, that's right. And probably like one of the seeds. So I don't even know if that's appropriate to display. On these, I would have to say, are we hovering index 0 basically? Or it's purely just the text. But you don't have a full model right now. If we did it here, could potentially skip that. And then you could recompact. Maybe. Those aren't going to be as relevant. I mean, we could. I don't know what this is always going to be. It actually depends. It's actually in the timeline stuff. So conceivably, the timeline. Well, timeline is going to respond to hover time. All right, so we have a way to look behind these. We've got some feedback about where we are. I probably want to be able to do ranges without necessarily moving the endpoint. Which means I'm going to have an intermediate state where we don't clamp this until we finish. I guess I technically get feedback from this line, but then this line actually won't be representing the time on the map, so that could be a bit complicated. Do I have this as a note? We still don't have the ability to select a block. Maybe double click actually would be the way to do that. But that's a battle for another day. That's when I'm usually on. Occasionally do this in the evenings or something else in the evenings. don't particularly know what how the rest of the day looks. We got any other coding going on. But thanks for watching. Not a whole lot, no. I see some station errors. That gets into some kind of system thinking type stuff. Let me see if I can figure out how to deal with Twitch's new host interface here. Array interface. It's going to be very messy for me. So if we do that... No, that still covers me up. I might have to blind fire. There's a place called Hangout. Sandbox Junkies is playing some Stationeers. Looks like they're doing Surface Framework right now. And that's some place cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye until next time.